Okay, lovelies. So, for those of you that don't know me, I should start with hello, I'm Holly. Lovely to have you here. I know many of you have been to many of our events, and I know many of you are membership ladies. So, welcome. Gorgeous to see you all. Happy Beltane. Can you feel the fiery energy? It has been a warm one on the Isle of Wight today. Becca, gorgeous. Happy Beltane. So good to see so many of you. In fact, let me just take a moment. Welcome, Jude. Gorgeous to have you here. Hope you're doing well, lovely. Kings, I'm guessing that might be Natalie. If it is, sending love. Claire, lovely to see you. Tina, welcome. Marianne, lovely to see you. Oh, iPhone, and I can't see you, but welcome. Louise, lovely. Gorgeous to see you. Tripping over my words already. Charlotte, welcome. Carol, gorgeous to have you with us. Jackie, lovely to see you. Rosamond, oh sorry, they're jumping around a bit. Welcome, lovely to have you here. Claire, lovely to see you. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Bear with. I do want to welcome you all, and I'm really conscious I'm going to miss people out, but let me just say welcome. Gorgeous to have you here. This evening is really going to be about so this is really going to be your space, your opportunity to turn inward, connect to that Beltane fire, and consider how you want to use this energy in your own life, how you can utilize it to the fullest. So this fiery Beltane energy is beautiful at igniting our passions, at igniting our creativity, at putting us into that state of our most empowered state. You know, that those times when you're just like, I've got this, I can take on the world, I know what I'm doing. That is Beltane energy. And so that's what we're going to be tapping into this evening. We're going to be doing some movement meditation. We're going to be doing some shamanic journey work. We're going to be doing some energy releasing. We are also going to make sure that we make the most of this fiery, abundant energy and do some manifesting work as well. So we've crammed lots into this evening. I can see a couple of you have got your hands raised. So Christine, lovely. Have you got your hand up because you want to say something? Have you got a question? Or is that by mistake? If that's by mistake, I'll just ignore it. I think you put it down. Okay, cool. Okay, let me make sure I've got everyone in. Okay. So, and let me check in with comments. Lisa, happy Beltane from Devon. Gorgeous to have you here, lovely. Hi, Lou. I've already said hi, lovely. Oh, Christine, happy Beltane blessings from Fraserburgh, Aberdeenshire. I feel like I know that place and I'm not sure why, but welcome, lovely. Janet, love and fiery blessings to everyone. Dawn, lovely. Beltane blessings to you. I loved what you shared in the group earlier. Elizabeth, welcome. Okay, let me just let Gloria in. So initially, I'm going to cleanse our space, and while I do that, I invite you to just take a moment to come back to yourself. Maybe starting to notice that gentle rise and fall of the breath. And I'm going to light our candle to symbolize the opening of our Beltane celebrations this evening. And if you haven't already, I invite you to take a moment to close your eyes and just allow yourself to come home to the body, starting to notice if there's any tension in the body this evening, and seeing if you can give yourself permission to soften those areas. Maybe breathing into the tightness, and on the exhale, allowing those muscles to melt. Maybe doing that again, nice deep breath in, breathing into any of those tight muscles, and exhaling any of that tightness. And at this stage you can perhaps give your shoulders a little roll or stretch the neck, just noticing what feels good in the body. And we're not trying to do anything here other than just notice how the body feels. And what stretches feel good in this moment. What movement is the body craving? And maybe allowing a gentle sway in the body, loosening up those back muscles, and finding a rhythm that soothes the nervous system. And we're going to pose the question while we're sat here, allowing the body to sway and move. What am I ready to ignite in my life? Tapping into this powerful Beltane energy, what are you ready to ignite within you? What are you ready to see more of? To feel more of? And if you're not sure just yet, no, that's absolutely fine. Perhaps you're igniting clarity. Perhaps you're igniting direction or passion and purpose. Perhaps you are using this ceremony to invite in abundance, a fruitful harvest for this year. What are you ready to ignite? And this isn't about grasping for answers or overthinking the answers that you think are right. We can hold our intentions lightly, gently, and allowing space for them to grow and evolve, change, and morph into something else, just like we do. And once you feel like you have an intention that you want to work with this evening, I invite you to place your hand on your heart space and imagine planting that intention like a little seed into the heart. And when we plant the seed into the heart space, that seed continues to speak to us. And that inner voice guiding us, directing us. And now we have an intention. We're going to go on a little shamanic journey to see if we can contact a guide who can support us with the intention that we have declared. Now, for this shamanic journey, you are very welcome to lay down if that helps you to relax and be guided away. I'm not going to rush straight into it. So I'm going to give you a moment for those of you that want to change to a laying down position. Okay, lovelies. If everyone is ready, I will be guiding us on a little journey. But I invite you first in your mind's eye to set that clear intention that we're journeying to find a guide who will support you with what you want to use this Beltane energy for. A guide that will support you in fulfilling your intention. Now, if you haven't done shamanic journeying with a drum beat before, I do want to give you a little heads up about a couple of things. It is completely normal to find the drum beat a little bit grating. And in fact, there's often this point that's about 10 minutes in where it feels like that grating is really more severe. However, the magic is just on the other side of that. So I invite you to see if you can stay with it. And if at any point it feels too much for you, then you can just come back to the breath in the belly, noticing that gentle rise and fall. Now, if we're all ready, I will begin. So a reminder to set that intention in the mind's eye. We're journeying to connect with a guide who will support you with your Beltane intentions and manifestations. And we're just going to allow the drum beat to change the brain waves. Now, if you would like to, you can also use the breath. And if you want a powerful experience, a more powerful experience, then I would suggest inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. However, I would not advise this for anyone that has high blood pressure or is prone to seizures. I would invite you to just simply pay attention to the breath and not change it in any way. For those of you that want something a little bit in between, then you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Finding your own rhythm. This doesn't have to be fast. And as you're working with the breath, just reminding you that the intention for this journey is to be guided to someone who can help you with your intention and manifestations for Beltane. And I invite you now in your mind's eye to imagine a tree. And this may be a tree you already know very well. It may be a tree that only exists in your mind's eye. Either one of these is perfect. But I invite you to imagine that tree, and maybe you imagine in pictures, maybe you imagine through feelings. Maybe you imagine by just having a sense or a knowing of that thing. But know that however you imagine, is absolutely perfect. But as much as you can, allowing that tree to be as real to you as possible. Maybe you notice the texture of the branches, the color of the leaves, the gentle breeze that's moving through the tops. Now, this is the tree that we're going to be using as a portal. And I invite you to start walking around this tree now. And you might notice at the base of the tree, somewhere in the trunk, is an opening for you to step into. I invite you to find that part of the tree now. And as you step into the tree, you notice there is a spiral staircase spiraling down. I invite you to start walking down those stairs now. Maybe timing your steps with the drum beat. Maybe noticing on the way down you can smell the rich, nutritious earth. Continuing down and down, further and further into the belly of the earth. Until you begin to see the final steps that open out into a cave. And I'm going to give you a moment to explore this cave and have a look around. Now you might notice that there's an opening to the cave. And perhaps there's a silhouette there of someone who's come to guide you and support you with your Beltane work and ceremony. I invite you to notice, who is it that's come to join you? You may notice that the guide that has come to support you is reaching out their hand. I invite you to consider if you want to take the hand of your guide here this evening. The guide who will be supporting you with your intentions and the work that you came here to do tonight. Now I'm going to leave you for a little time to allow you to explore where it is your guide wants to take you to this evening. And remembering here in the lower world, this isn't somewhere where you need to worry about how you're going to get there. Anything is possible. You might feel called to skip or dance, or maybe fly and soar through the air as you allow your guide to lead you to where you need to go to support you with your intention. And I invite you now to find somewhere where you can sit down with your guide, because we're going to take the opportunity to ask them some questions. And the first question I invite you to ask your guide is, what's standing in the way of you fulfilling your intentions for this year? And just notice. Sometimes they respond in words, sometimes they respond in pictures or a feeling or a memory. What is standing in the way of you fulfilling your intentions? And the next question we're going to ask your guide is, what do you need to release in order to fulfill your intentions? What do you need to let go of or put down? And allow the guide's answers to come to you. You may not even know what they mean just now. That's absolutely okay. And the next question I invite you to ask your guide is, who do you need to become in order to fulfill your intentions? Who's she? What's different about her? And finally, asking your guide what support you're going to need to fulfill your intentions. Often a question we forget to ask ourselves as women: what support do I need? Now I invite you to ask your guide at this point to introduce you to the version of you that has already done it. The version of you who has made it a reality. that has manifested that intention into the physical plane. Allow your guide to take you to that version of you now. And perhaps you can see this version of you, perhaps you just get a sense of her, perhaps you can just feel her energy. But I invite you to notice what's different about her. Does she look different in any way? Does she dress the same? What's her posture like? What's her energy like? What does she think about herself? And what does she believe to be possible? Now you have an opportunity here to ask her any questions. Any questions about how she got here. Any questions about how she overcome challenges. I invite you to ask your questions to her now. Now it's completely up to you, but at this point, you can invite this version of you to merge with you now. You could invite her to give you a warm embrace and notice how her qualities begin to dissolve into you. And if you have decided to merge with this version of you, I invite you to notice the energy shift. How does it feel in the body? How does it feel in the mind? How does it feel in the heart? As this merged version. What feels different? Has your posture changed? Has the weight been lifted? Does your muscles and heart feel softer and more relaxed? And I invite you to take a moment to wander around in this realm, feeling these changes, the shift in energy, the new qualities that you have just received from the version of you who's already made your intentions a reality. And I invite you now to look around this realm of existence, and there'll be an object somewhere that's calling to you. This object is for you to take with you. An object that you may not quite understand straight away, but it will represent that which you will require going forward to fulfill your intentions. I invite you to find that object now. And when you find the object, I invite you to look at it, to sense it, to feel it. You may not know why this object in particular is going to be useful, but we'll have plenty of time to look into that later. For now, just observe. Now it's nearly time for us to return home. But I invite you to take a moment to thank the guide who has helped you here today. And how you do that is completely up to you. And you do have time here to ask any last minute questions. Now the change in drum is our calling back, our coming back home. So I invite you to ask your guide to take you back to the cave, back to the steps, back to the stairs. And starting to make your way up that spiral staircase now. Allowing the drum beat to guide you. And coming up through that opening in the tree now. And you can take a moment here with your tree, maybe giving the tree some thanks for being your portal this evening, allowing you to travel down into the lower world. And I'm going to give you some time for those of you that want to just note down anything you experienced in that journey, taking your time, not rushing, but an opportunity to write down any words or symbols, pictures, images, whatever you want to remember from your journey. Hopefully you are starting to land back on this plane. And when you've written down your insights from your journey, I invite you to just come back to your eyes being closed. Enjoy a moment of stillness within. Maybe again allowing the body to sway. And I invite you, when you finish writing, to really start to contemplate what will it be like once you've fulfilled that which you intend, that which you wish to manifest. And really allowing yourself to dream, to be there, to be that version of you that's made it happen. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And as you do that, I invite you to notice how the body responds. We're going to check in with the somatics here. So, if the body doesn't respond with like a hell yes, that sounds so exciting, this sounds amazing. If it's not that kind of excited energy, then we've got a block, right? We've got something that's standing in the way of us and our intention. And I invite you to just observe if that's the case for you. How does your body respond? And does that response surprise you? And for those of you where the body didn't feel excited, where perhaps it felt more closed down, where you felt your chest getting tighter, where perhaps you felt a little bit of dread or a different emotion that was different to what you expected, I invite you to allow your mind's eye to just show you what's causing that block. Maybe it's a belief that you hold about yourself and what you're capable of. Maybe it's based on things like past mistakes. Perhaps you've taken on beliefs about the world that actually aren't going to serve you in this manifestation. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself first. And if so, can you do that now? Perhaps you need to forgive someone else. That's not about taking away their responsibility. That's about lightening your burden. You don't need to suffer twice. Or perhaps you need to forgive life, God, the world. And perhaps you can see all of those past experiences as lessons that are taking you to where you want to go. Perhaps you needed to experience those things in order to get to that which you want to manifest. So with this in mind, this idea of releasing, and that can be anything from emotions to past experiences to judgments you make about yourself, judgments you make about others. I invite you to write down that which you're ready to let go of, that you no longer want to carry, that you're ready to release here and now. And I invite you to make that as a clear, a powerful statement, from this day forward, I'm not doing this. Or I declare that this is what I'm letting go of. Something that fills you with that sense of power, that sense of determination, that sense of this is gone. Now, this part is completely up to you if you want to do this now or later. What I would ask is that you do it safely, whatever you do. But as it's Beltane, we're using the fire as an energy release for that which we're letting go of. So I invite you to burn that bit of paper, whether now or later is completely up to you. But whenever you do it, please do it safely. That would be my only request. And I've torn mine into little bits to make it easier to burn. Nearly setting fire to my hair on the way. That could have been an interesting addition to the ceremony. My final piece. And as those bits of paper burn, whether you're doing it now or just imagining what it will be like when the flames consume that which you have decided to let go of. I invite you to imagine that energy, that pattern, that behavior, that person, those circumstances leaving you and your body, your field, your life. And feel that happening. Allow yourself to enjoy that sense of relief of that thing you no longer have to carry. Maybe you notice that your shoulders begin to drop, or the body feels softer. But allow yourself to experience the feeling of that thing leaving your body, leaving your world. And bringing to mind again that which you are bringing into your future. Maybe it's different circumstances. Maybe it's a healthier body or mind. Maybe it's an improvement in a skill. Maybe it's a change in relationship with something or someone. But we're going to enter into that energy of attraction. Allowing yourself to consider in mind and body what it would feel like to just attract that thing to you right now. Like a magnet. How can you alert this desire towards you with nothing more than your energy? Can you allow yourself to be that beacon, that magnet? Now, I think as women, we generally have a sense of this energy. It often feels like when we feel attractive, allowing yourself to feel attractive to that which you desire. And you might even imagine that thing moving towards you now. And the image in my mind is like these beautiful flowers, and all they've got to do is just waft their perfume, and the bees come flocking. Can we do the same with our desires through our energy? Okay, lovelies, for those of you that are watching on replay, this is where I'm going to end the recording, as I want to make sure we've got plenty of time to speak to the ladies and for them to share anything they want to share. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.